Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobby Capucci, and we have an update in the ABC squashing of the Epstein story. So, we all know that ABC was caught up in the whole hubbub of killing this Epstein story when Amy Robach was caught on a hot mic saying just that. Well, now, the mainstream media, who supposedly loves whistleblowers, right? Don't they love whistleblowers? Isn't that what we're hearing? Whistleblowers need to be protected. Make sure that whistleblowers are protected. Oh, how dare you out a whistleblower? Well, here we go with a whistleblower who has now lost their job at a different news agency because of what occurred at ABC. So, once again, maybe we should start calling the media as a whole, all of these major outlets, we should just call them the organized media conglomerati. Because if one of them wants to get rid of you, all of them want to get rid of you. All right, so let's take a look at an article talking about this from the Washington Examiner. The former ABC News employee who leaked the video of Amy Robach talking about the network refusing to run her story on one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers was fired from their current job at CBS News. So, you served an extra burger at McDonald's and then you get a job at Burger King and they fire you because they heard that you served the extra burger later on? Project Veritas released a video Tuesday of Robach discussing the information she received years earlier from Virginia Roberts on a hot mic. She can be heard expressing her frustration surrounding ABC News' refusal to air the interview and claim that the network made the decision after receiving threats from Buckingham Palace after they had found out Prince Andrew was implicated in the story. She also alleged that Epstein may have been murdered. All right, so what you have to do is ask yourself, how can Buckingham Palace have so much power to scare an organization in America who is protected by freedom of speech from going after this story, right? It all comes down to their access, right? They wanted access to the royals, so they didn't want to have any kind of drama with them. And it also comes down to, and I am convinced of this, I don't have any evidence to back this up, obviously, but in my opinion, and I'm stating that clearly, in my opinion, ABC killed this story to protect Stephanopoulos and his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And maybe some other people at ABC that we don't even know about, some of the other executives, the people in the shadows. These are the real problem. These executives are the real problem at these media organizations. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything, she stated. I tried for 3 years to get it on to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it, as she throws her fit. The former ABC News employee who accessed the video has been fired from the person's current position at CBS News, according to journalist Yashar Ali. In a tweet, Ali says, "As I noted in this thread, ABC News has confirmed they're conducting an investigation into the leak. Update. 2 sources familiar with the matter tell me that CBS News has fired the staffer in question. This comes after ABC informed CBS that they had determined to access the footage of Amy Robach expressing her frustrations about the Epstein story." Whoever this person is, whoever leaked this, should have a job at one of the other media organizations ASAP. Fox News, OAN, Newsmax, whatever it may be. But the CBS should be ashamed of themselves, by the way. Because now, not only are you being scuzzy by firing this lady, but you're also jumping in to help protect Epstein? I mean, we should expect nothing less. Look what happened when Ronan Farrow was breaking the Weinstein news, right? 2 sources familiar with the matter, okay, we read that. ABC News is not sure if the individual who accessed the video was the same person who shared it with Project Veritas, or if that individual gave it to someone else who passed it along. All right, so this person loses their job and you're not even sure? You're not even positive that this is the case and this person loses their job. But yet the media wants to hop around and yell about being fair and people being critical of decisions that others make while nobody can be critical of the decisions that the media makes? Come on. Robach released a statement after the video was released, claiming her comments were caught in a private moment of frustration, and added that her interview with Roberts didn't air because we could not obtain sufficient corroborating evidence to meet ABC's editorial standards about her allegations. I can't stress enough how much BS that is. It is absolute and utter trash. Trash. Her response echoes that of the network, which said, "At the time, not all of our reporting met our standards to air, but we have never stopped investigating the story. Ever since we've had a team on this investigation and substantial resources dedicated to it. That work has led to a 2-hour documentary and a 6-part podcast that will air in the new year." Oh, great. So that makes up for everything. Your 6-part podcast and your new story that's going to air. But in reality, what you're really doing is you're ruining somebody's life because they called you out for enabling Epstein, being involved in the Epstein situation, and covering it up. That's really what the case is here. It has nothing to do with anything else. The standards weren't met, none of that. If this could have advanced the ball politically for those that they favor at ABC News, this story would have been blown wide open. Wide open. If they could have tied this to the current administration, more than the Acosta situation, they would have went absolutely, positively crazy with this story. And that is how I know that there's no there when it comes to some of the allegations that people are making against Trump. Look, I could care less if this guy was involved in any of this stuff and there's evidence and the news and media had it. It would be all over the place is all I'm saying. Because they're playing such a gotcha game right now. It is an all or nothing game with this media right now. All they're doing is pushing their narrative forward, and they do not care about anything else at this point. Nothing else. If you can't connect it to the situation with Trump, then the media doesn't want to cover it. They truly believe that the people, you and I, are interested in the stuff that they're running. But really, we're not. Only the most partisan, the most tribalistic people are interested in that stuff at this point. The rest of us are all standing around trading Epstein memes saying, what the F is going on? What happened to the justice system in this country? What happened to justice for victims in this country? What happened to people that are truly, credibly accused? Well, we don't want to have, there's no show trials now? There's no mockeries? There's no wall-to-wall coverage over Epstein like there was for Kavanaugh? Why not? Ask yourself that. Why not? And if you're being honest with yourself, you'll understand what the reason is. The media does not care about you or me. All they care about is pushing the narrative forward that they have in their head, that they've had in their head since the election in 2016. Instead of just really reporting on what Trump does, they just everything has to be blown out of proportion. Everything has to be covered ad nauseum. And stories like this, the Epstein story, suffers because of it. And those are just the facts, straight up facts. And, the partisan nonsense, I've said it several times. I won't deal with it on this show. I'm not going to, if you have comments that are partisan or whatever, I won't even respond to that nonsense. Because this is so much more serious than any of that. We're talking about the children of this nation being used and treated as if there were nothing more than just pieces of meat by the rich and the elite. And then the media, who has the audacity to drag people's names through the mud for a lot less than what they had on Epstein, covers this up. And we're not supposed to be upset. We're not supposed to ask questions. We're not supposed to raise a stink. We're not supposed to question Brian Stelter. Man, come on. These media hacks, their day is done. Their day is past. There's a new day on the horizon, and we're ushering it in. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. We will be back tonight for the Daily Drop.